Hey guys, this is Hero, and today I'm going to be discussing a very, very important video of Saturn moving slightly into Aquarius for about 5 to 6 weeks, only going 1 degree into Aquarius from April 29th to June 5th, and then at June 5th turning around and going retrograde until July 12th and going back into Capricorn, okay? Now, this is important. Why? Well, one, it's Saturn, and it's going into its own Mooltrikona. Two, Saturn is only going in that 5 to 6 weeks. It's only going 1 degree into Aquarius and it's coming right back out. But look at the time frame it's doing this in. In 5 to 6 weeks, it's going only 1 degree into Aquarius, and then it takes a whole another 5 to 6 weeks to come right out. Okay, even for Saturn, that's very slow. Okay, just to give you a perspective, in the past, from the present day, this video is getting uploaded. In the past month, Saturn's moved about 3 to 4 degrees. Okay. Over 3.5 degrees, I think. So that's pretty slow. That in 5 to 6 weeks, which is even longer than a month, it only moves 1 degree. And in the other 5 to 6 weeks, it only moves 1 degree back, retrograde, okay? Now, this makes sense, obviously, because when a planet is about to go retrograde, it slows down, okay? And after a planet goes retrograde, especially for those bigger, faraway planets like Jupiter and Saturn, they... even after the retrograde starts, it doesn't just, it doesn't just go straight and then turn right back around. It slows down and then it slows down and then it slowly picks up retrograde speed going back, okay? So it's moving very, very slow. Now, for the bigger planets like Jupiter and Saturn, it starts slowing down because they're naturally pretty slow and they go retrograde for a long time. They start slowing down about a month before, okay? Which is about right when Saturn goes to Aquarius, okay? And Saturn especially, it takes a little while after it goes retrograde to pick up speed. So the whole time it's in Aquarius, Saturn is giving very stationary-like energies, okay? While it's going forward and while it's going back retrograde, it's giving very, it's moving very slow, right? And why is this important? Well, the slower a planet's moving, it becomes much more powerful. Okay, that's why Saturn in itself is pretty powerful, and that's why Jupiter is powerful. Rahu and Ketu are powerful. Okay, they're all power. They move very, very slow. Okay, that's why we always look at their transits the most. They're very, very powerful. Now, Saturn's the slowest planet. Okay, that's why it kind of gets a lot of attention, and we feel that because you can feel its power through its slow but gradual moving. Now, when this slows down, it is like, oh my goodness, especially in the exact spot it's slowing down, okay? It's slowing down right after it finishes Capricorn, its own sign, and right when it gets into its own Mooltrikona, okay? And if you don't notice, the first, like, Nakshatra Pada, you can say, of Aquarius, if you look in the D9 chart, any planet in that section, the first 3 degrees of Aquarius, it's in Libra in the D9, okay? So Saturn, when it's moving that 1 degree up and 1 degree back in Aquarius very, very, very slowly, it gets exalted in the D9, okay? Which is not a joke, okay? This is very, very strong energies that is being encompassed in this 2.5 months, okay? Now, time for me to keep going. So I want you to look back and see, okay, Saturn rules 2 signs, right? Capricorn and Aquarius in the right in a row. Capricorn represents what? Discipline, kind of just doing what you have to do for yourself, okay? So think when Saturn went into Capricorn, right? It went into Capricorn about January 2020, okay? That was almost a different world ago, okay? Compared to how life is now. But think about since January 2020, what have you been doing in your life, okay? Most likely, I know a lot of people, especially since, the whole world got shaken up, they've been kind of just doing what they had to do for themselves, okay? Especially because Jupiter was in Capricorn as well, okay? And especially because Jupiter has already transited through Aquarius, it's really going to help this Saturn go through Aquarius as well. And you can watch my Jupiter and Aquarius video on more information on that. But throughout the whole Saturn and Capricorn, you could say you were doing stuff kind of for yourself, okay? Like just trying to elevate your life, okay? I feel like ever since, different times and stuff like that, people's minds have been shaken up and they're kind of really taking responsibility and doing what they had to do, right? Regardless of what happens on the external, astrologically, you could say that there's a connection there, okay? Now, overall, when Saturn goes into Aquarius, this means, okay, you already know kind of how to take care of yourself, how to do what you have to do, right? As far as, you know, from a discipline standpoint and stuff like that. But Aquarius is all about doing stuff more for others that you have to fulfill, like karmically with other people, okay? I'll give you an example from my own life. So for example, me, like, let's just say because you guys always ask for examples, and when you send me emails, give me stuff in your personal life and ask me all these questions. So I would say I became pretty disciplined at the gym, okay? Especially over the past year, okay? I became pretty disciplined at the gym, okay? So that's pretty stereotypical Saturn and Capricorn, okay? I'm making sure every day, you know, after work or whatever, I'm disciplined and just, you know, going to the gym as a stress reliever and stuff like that, okay? Just really, you know, just being aware of, just being disciplined in myself so I can use that as, like, you know, awareness for, you know, what's going on in my body. And there's a whole host of reasons, but that's one aspect. But now that Saturn goes into Aquarius, just something that I'm kind of intuitively able to tell. For example, I have a neighbor, okay? He is a little bit younger than me, and he likes to come to the gym with me recently, okay? And sometimes it doesn't always align with my work schedule and stuff, but I could tell when Saturn goes into Aquarius, one karma I'm gonna have to fulfill is taking him to the gym and kind of teaching him what to do, okay? Like I said, Saturn going into Capricorn, okay, I've already established that discipline for myself, okay? But now when Saturn goes into Aquarius, I have to do what I have to do for other people, okay? And that would include kind of adjusting my schedule and, you know, doing whatever I have to do to make sure that he can come with me so that, you know, he can reap whatever benefits are there, whether it's physical benefits, mental health benefits, because, you know, it's always good to have like a, you know, just a buddy to hang out with or go to the gym with, stuff like that. Another example. Recently, I deleted all social media off of my phone, okay? Even this YouTube video, I'm recording it from my brother's phone. I don't even have YouTube on my phone, okay? But now something I've realized lately is like, okay, yeah, I did that for myself. I have the discipline to delete social media for myself. How can I impact others so that they can, you know, feel inspired to delete it for themselves as well? Okay, yeah, everyone knows, you know, you shouldn't be on social media too much and blah, blah, blah. But no one actually goes through with it. And I mean, they might limit their time on it temporarily or delete one, you know, for a little while, but they don't actually fully get off of it. So what can I do? And that, for me, with you know, some people in my life is, you know, just making sure I'm, you know, okay, what do we all crave on social media, right? We crave that intimacy, that community feel, that just interaction with other people that we don't get in today's modern world, right? What can I do to make them feel that so that they can feel a little bit more inspired to take that step and, you know, if they wish, you know, leave social media behind, right? So that includes, you know, making efforts to see them in person, right? Because that's pretty important. Or just doing what I have to do to just encourage them in that way. Okay, same way with the gym situation. Just doing what I have to do to just make sure that my neighbor feels like comfortable coming with me and feels inspired to go a little bit more often, even if that means making sacrifices for myself. Okay, so that's a little bit of a higher example of what Saturn in Aquarius could do here, right? Now, like I said, this Saturn, it's stationed. Now I'm going to get into like a little bit more deeper aspects of it. But like I said, the first one is that it's only going 1 degree in and coming back, okay? And it's stationary the whole time, okay? So what does this mean? Your awareness related to this during these like 2.5 months, it's going to be on all-time high, okay? And you're gonna feel like a little bit of a shift. You'll feel it as soon as this transit starts when May comes around, okay? Would strongly encourage you to take use of this, okay? Why? Because Saturn's gonna go back into Capricorn, and I'll get into that later. But when it goes back into Capricorn, that's basically an opportunity. anything you might have not done when Saturn was originally in Capricorn, you have a chance to now develop your aspect of that before it goes back into Aquarius for good, okay? So when it goes into Aquarius right now, it's like, dude, this is all the stuff that I'm going to need to have to do going forward, okay? Because Saturn's not going to come back for Aquarius. Like, after it fully gets out and goes to Pisces, it's not going to come back for a while, okay? Like, it's going to take a long another 30 years to come back to Capricorn and Aquarius, okay? So it's kind of giving you a taste. Okay, I'm into Aquarius. This is everything that I'm going to have to do, okay? So I would kind of start, and then when Saturn goes back into Capricorn, it's like, okay, like, okay, I'm not really able to do some of the stuff I want to do. Let me develop myself so that I can do it. And then when Saturn goes back into Aquarius for good, I'm able to actually do it and fulfill all my karmas, okay? Because Saturn, like I said, is very important when it comes to karmas, especially when it goes into Aquarius, okay? And especially because, like I said, it's at that beginning of Aquarius where it gets exalted in D9. And like I said, it's moving so slow. Very good chance to just, okay, start doing what you have to do because you're really aware of it. But if you're not able to do it fully, it's okay, because you'll have, when it goes into Capricorn, you'll have time to kind of just develop yourself, okay? But don't use this period lightly. Use it like, if you really care and like are really serious about, you know, fulfilling your karmas and stuff like that, I would really utilize this time properly, okay? If it's a little bit overwhelming, that's fine. Like I said, you're not going to fulfill your karma in like 5 minutes. It's going to take some time. But like I said, this is a trailer for when it goes into Aquarius for good, okay? Utilize this trailer well, because when Saturn goes back into Capricorn, you're going to realize, okay, because it had already been in Aquarius just for a little bit, but it was very strong when it was in there and very aware when it was in there, you're going to be like, okay, this is all the stuff I need to do personally to, you know, fix myself before it goes back into Aquarius, and then I can do everything for good, okay? So that's a general gist of that. I'll get into, it's about 12 minutes in this video. I'll get into some other specifics. So one thing is that Saturn, okay, so Saturn has a third special aspect, okay? Like a third house special aspect, okay? This is not random, okay? This is because, and I've said this in another video, but this is because, to explain it more, just look up like, why is third house aspect important, something like that, for my channel. This is because third house represents self-efforts in general, okay? So Saturn, wherever it sits, it's going to impact the third house, because you're going to have to put more efforts into the third placement from it, okay? So when it's in Aquarius, it has a third aspect on Aries, okay? Now, this is not random, okay? Why? Because when Saturn is in Aquarius, Aquarius is all about fulfilling your karmas, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have to put in more efforts into the areas of Aries, right? So that means like changes for your own self, right? So for example, with me, with the gym thing, with my neighbor, I noticed that, okay, I have this karma to fulfill. I'm going to have to make some changes in like adjusting my work schedule or doing X, Y, and Z to making that happen. Same thing with inspiring others to get off social media. I want to do that. So I'm going to have to make some changes, maybe on weekends or something, to contact, or, you know, drive to someone's house, whatever the case is, right? Just like when Saturn is in Capricorn, it aspects what? It aspects Pisces, okay? Why? Because when Saturn is in Capricorn, all about discipline, you're going to have to put in more self-efforts in the areas of Pisces, okay? Just letting go in general, okay? And just being disciplined to what you have to be disciplined in, okay? So I hope that made sense. Now, when Saturn's in Aquarius, it aspects 3 from itself, okay? Now, third from itself, it's Aries, where Rahu is sitting, okay? And the first, I want to say like up until, I think it was like around May 17th-ish or something, Sun is there, okay? And at the end, like from June 27th afterwards, Mars is there, right? Why is this important? Because Sun and Mars get very, very strong in Aries, and Rahu is sitting in Aries as well, okay? So what this all means is that, okay, yeah, you're going to have to make changes, but those changes, especially because strong planets are there and Rahu's there, if you utilize these things properly, you'll be able to get the ball rolling on making these changes a lot more, okay? So I'd really encourage you to get a little bit out of your comfort zone if you're feeling a little bit like scared and stuff. You know, just do just do some of the tips that I've given you throughout my other videos to just really detach from any of the fears you have and really just take those next steps that the awareness of Saturn is giving you in order to, you know, do what you have to do and make the changes you have to make to start really fulfilling your karmas related to other people, okay? And Ketu throws a fifth aspect. It's a light fifth aspect, but it's still a fifth aspect from, it's going to be sitting in Libra when this transit occurs, and it's going to be throwing it onto Aquarius, okay? Now, why is it a light fifth aspect? Because Ketu is at the end of Libra and Saturn's at the beginning of Aquarius, okay? But regardless, that Ketu, it's going to help you basically just be, because it's a light aspect. See, sometimes a strong aspect can be kind of too much, but a light aspect can be just kind of perfect, okay? Sometimes, okay? You have to look. I'm just speaking in general, but sometimes that light Ketu aspect could allow you to be a little bit more detached in doing whatever you're doing and just have you subconsciously just whatever you're doing, whatever Saturn's inspiring you doing, just having a little bit of a subconscious drive to achieve moksha behind it, okay? So to really, you know, propel and do what you have to do to achieve your karmas, okay? So the combination of Ketu aspecting lightly Saturn, and then Saturn strongly aspecting Rahu and Aries, where either most of the time Sun is going to be there exalted or Mars is going to be there in Mooltrikona. You can really make some great changes in your life in regards to the two examples I just gave. Stuff you've been doing, okay? So anything, any discipline you've kind of been applying to yourself when Saturn was in Capricorn, stuff related to that, you're going to be transitioning it to how can I make others, or what can I do to get others on the same path that I've been on, okay? And like I said, it's stationary pretty much, okay? Or it's moving very, very, very slow. So you're very extremely aware, and Saturn loves the first portion of Aquarius because it gets exalted in D9 there, okay? I'd really encourage you to utilize this very, very strongly. And like I said, if you utilize this properly, you'll notice exactly what your flaws are and what your weaknesses are. You'll be able to work on your own weaknesses and stuff when Saturn goes retrograde back into Capricorn. And then once you cleaned yourself up yourself up, then when Saturn goes back into Aquarius, you can really go full head of steam and hopefully really fulfill your karmas so that you don't have to wait another 30 years until Saturn gets back into the whole Capricorn Aquarius section of the zodiac again, okay? I'm just kidding. You can always find a way to improve yourself and increase your awareness and fulfill your karmas, but this is a great, great, great opportunity, okay? That's why I make these transit videos, so that you guys are more inspired to tap into certain energies that you resonate with and do what you spiritually came to do during this birth, okay? So this video is going on 18 minutes. I think I'm done. If you have any questions or comments, as always, let me know via the comment section or email. Thanks for watching, and until next time, talk to you guys later. Thank you.